60,000 fans for another big night of European football. Two former European Cup winners from two of the great football cities. It's Celtic against Barcelona. Kick-off is just minutes away, so let's straight away join our commentary team of Sandy Clark and firstly Rob McLean.
From Catalonia to Caledonia come Barcelona, big spenders. No European club has spent more on players since the turn of the millennium, £200 million. Big disappointment that they haven't won a trophy in 5 years, and big bruises to Barcelona's massive ego. But recent achievements don't come close to matching their dream team reputation. On the 11th of March 2003, Celtic were about to embark on the beating of Liverpool, having already swept aside Stuttgart, Celta Vigo and Blackburn. They'd built up a hefty head of steam and were powering towards the UEFA Cup final. On the 11th of March 2004, Celtic are again in the last 16 of the competition, having taken a different route this time. Bayern Munich and Lyon squeezed them out of the Champions League. But if they're to progress beyond the 4th round of this season's UEFA Cup, they'll have to beat one of the biggest names in world football. I always feel guilty talking over this, so I'm not going to. It's ended in Seville for Celtic, that never-to-be-forgotten UEFA Cup run of last season. This season it started in Seville for Barcelona, a 10-match unbeaten run, which has resuscitated their Spanish League campaign, 7 straight wins, and reawakened their belief that some long-awaited European success might be coming Frank Rijkaard's way. And after today's horrific happenings in Madrid, a minute's silence.
Please be upstanding and observe 1 minute of silence for all those affected by the tragic events that took place in Madrid earlier today.
Spain is in mourning, but the decision was the show must go on. Well, Craig Beattie's only other first-team start for Celtic was against Partick Thistle in the CIS Cup. He starts against Barcelona, the 20-year-old striker. Jos Verhaeren injured. Stilian Petrov moves to the right side of a 4-man midfield. Didier Agat is in at right back. Jackie McNamara reverts to that left-back role. 3 strikers, of course, missing. Chris Sutton, John Hartson and Sean Maloney. Barcelona with 3 changes from the team which beat Mallorca at the weekend. Luis Enrique suspended, Edgar Davids cup-tied, Giovanni van Bronckhorst injured and Patrick Kluivert not yet ready to return. Gabriel at left-back, Mota in the midfield, and Saviola joins Garcia and Ronaldinho up front. The referee is German, Wolfgang Stark, and he handled Celtic's Champions League qualifier in August against MTK Hungaria. Underway, Celtic against Barcelona, part one of a double bill in the fourth round of the UEFA Cup. And you'll see both parts of this drama on BBC One Scotland. Can Celtic get what they need against a side desperate to get back to the sort of European success they enjoyed previously? About 5 years without a trophy, and a decade since they achieved European success. And Craig Beattie, in his excitement to get on the end of that long ball, tripping over in the box. But what an opportunity for him.
Certainly right, Rob. He's a tremendous young prospect. He's still very naive, a lot to learn, but there's no better stage to learn, to gain experience than playing in the first team. And what an opportunity, as you say, tonight for this young man. Hopefully, from his point of view, from Celtic, so he does well.
There's a foul on Beattie. If Celtic had to take some serious scalps on the road to Seville, their projected path to this season's final in Gothenburg is even tougher. They'd be likely to play Roma in the quarter-finals and Valencia in the semis, if they get through this. Thompson's free kick, skimming off the head of Varga, but there was an offside flag up. Varga, who has chipped in with 7 goals this season, an inspired signing by Martin O'Neill, a player who couldn't get a game for Sunderland. He's been a star turn for Celtic, both in domestic and European football this season.
Martin O'Neill will be disappointed with that offside decision there. Barcelona, just having a quick look at them, they don't look the tallest team in the world. And Celtic, we all know, they're so good at set pieces, so dangerous, so many big targets. I'm sure it's a ploy that Celtic will try and use tonight.
It skimmed off the head of Petrov. Barcelona's throw. It's more than 2.5 years since Celtic lost at home, 73 games ago, when they lost 1-0 to Ajax, but won the tie. That was August 2001. It is an incredible record. And Celtic will be happy if they can keep it intact. They really are down to the bare bones, Celtic. The reason they've listed only 6 substitutes is that they have only 6 players other than the starting 11 who are registered to play in a UEFA tournament.
That's an incredible statistic for Celtic. Just shows you how many injuries they have, especially in that striking area. Chris Sutton's going to be a massive loss tonight. I'm interested, Rob, just to see how the game pans out. Celtic obviously 4-4-2 formation. Barcelona always seem to play a 4-3-3, so they'll have that extra man, that central midfield area. Celtic will have to make sure they combat that.
Bobo Balde, who was a doubt from the weekend, he's given that away. Luis Garcia tries to play in Saviola. Douglas clears, and didn't really give Stephen Pearson much chance of keeping that in. Douglas, who dislodged Magnus Hedman from the goalkeeper's jersey prior to Hedman's departure to Italian football. Mota, Ronaldinho. Saviola. Cuckoo. The captain's cross. Jackie McNamara heads it behind.
Jackie McNamara's not quite sure where the Barcelona forwards are here. Can't take the chance. There's one in front. He expects one to be coming in behind him. Safety first.
The first set piece, Ronaldinho on the byline, and what a good block from Bobo Balde.
Great little bit of skill there from Ronaldinho. You expect him to play this ball back to the corner flag area, but great little turn and playing the ball in. And it's Mota eventually. Not far away with the shot, that's an opportunity. It's a warning, early warning to Celtic.
5 in the box. And the shots from outside the area from Luis Garcia. Well off target. He wasn't off target at the weekend. Struck twice in the 3-2 win against Mallorca. At that time he was off balance and never likely to hit a target. But more worrying for Celtic was the effort from Ole Geir from the first corner kick. When Bobo Baldi had to be very quickly out on top of the Barcelona defender to block the shot. That's Beattie's header. Ole Geir. Gabri. Free kick going against Giovanni van Bronckhorst's deputy. The versatile Gabri slotting in at left back tonight. Now Celtic will want to do better with this set piece than they did the last one. 6 players strung along the edge of the area. Thompson's delivery. Varga got his head to it. But it goes through fairly harmlessly and into the hands of Victor Valdez.
That was good defending there from Barcelona. Varga won the first header. He was defending the second ball very well.
Luis Garcia. Xabi. Saviola through legs of Varga. And an all-encompassing challenge from Baldi. Wins it back for Celtic. Given away by Thompson. It's Saviola. Petrov intercepts. Craig Beattie has it. Needs to keep it. Beattie again. Ronaldinho. Mota took his eye off it, the young Brazilian, and it slipped out of play. Taking the place tonight of Edgar Davids in midfield, who played in Europe with Juventus this season. That's why he can't play tonight. Celtic won't miss him. Puyol launching it. McNamara for Douglas. Straight down the throats for Puyol in central defence for Barcelona.
That's a good thing from the Celtic goalkeeper. Not really under any pressure. He's got to try and find a forward. Craig Beattie's a decent size, decent near. And Henrik Larsson, we know he can also win the ball. You've got to give them a chance.
Good ball winning from Varga. Henrik Larsson looking tonight to add to his 34 European goals in 51 appearances. Some record really in just about every statistic surrounding Larsson is pretty impressive. Stephen Pearson leaves it to Neil Lennon. Thompson down the line for Petrov. Petrov against Puyol. An inspiring figure at the back, normally for Barcelona. Puyol. McNamara fails to get it beyond the central defence. Saviola slots it through, looking for the run of Luis Garcia. He'd stopped. McNamara tidies up for Celtic. Remember, this is a form team, Barcelona. 9 consecutive wins. Larsson's cross. Cuckoo. Well won by Thompson. Pearson having a dart at the Barcelona defence. Back for Lennon. Beautifully judged pass. Agat fires it in. Petrov aims to keep the pressure on. Celtic aggressive, looking to carve out a chance.
Petrov there, Ronaldinho. I think just here they're looking for a handball. Waving play on.
Agat skips behind Mota, useful ball in, and just for a moment there, Oleguer wasn't sure where that was.
That's good play from Celtic the last few minutes. Great determination, aggression, pace down the right-hand side from Didier Agat. Two decent balls into the box. Celtic will have to keep up that type of pace, driving at their opponents if they want to break down this well-organised defence.
Ten minutes gone, Celtic's first corner. Fired in by Thompson, there's Balde, there's Varga. Shot blocked by Puyol. Now Pearson. Good run from Stephen Pearson, committing Barcelona defenders to make challenges right at the edge of the box.
Great play from Stephen Pearson. So difficult to defend against when you're on your opponent like that. Close ball control.
Here he is again, Pearson. Started well. Pearson's shot just wide.
Great play from the youngster. It's a good first touch. Good determination again, driving forward. He's got the confidence to have the shot just off target. I'm sure the goalkeeper, Valdez, he would have got across, he would have saved it. But that'll give everyone inside Celtic Park a lift.
Presumably exactly what Martin O'Neill's looking for.
Exactly that. He was shouting across the park earlier on to Pearson to get wide and get forward. And he had a word with Didier Agat, who's an electric start, just to get down the line and get the crosses in. It was when he was overtaken or throwing, Martin O'Neill with the word in his ear. It's all in wrestling now, Rob.
And I don't think any great fears that Craig Beattie will be shy about mixing it. He is a bit like a mini Chris Sutton.
Yes, I'm sure he's looking at Chris Sutton, he'll be his role model.
Agat's free kick. That was Pearson. That was Koku. Back from Beattie to Lennon. Difficult pass for Petrov. Free kick is given against Alan Thompson's challenge on Saviola.
The Celtic crowd don't agree with this one, you can see there. Thompson doesn't get any of the ball, taking Saviola out the game. But Barcelona have certainly started the game very well. The first few minutes passing the ball, lots of possession. You can see they're a decent team, good quality players. The Celtic have lifted the pace just a little bit, and it's working for them.
Alan Thompson doesn't want a yellow card. Nor does Bobo Balde. Those are the two players tonight walking a disciplinary tightrope for Celtic. Another yellow, and they'll miss the new camp. 09011 110 861 for the man of the match competition. Sandy will decide near the end who has been top man. Chabi drives it through, but can't get it beyond Balde. Loose pass from Varga. Weisiger. Chabi to the Brazilian Mota. Oleguer. Under pressure, and the pass wasn't what he wanted, and that's exactly what Celtic want.
Well, Celtic are working so hard, defending from the front. Larsson is always working to win the ball back as far up the park as possible. Craig Beattie certainly put himself about as well, as we've seen.
Balde says, who is this Ronaldinho guy? They got down the line for Larsson. Miscue on the pass. Good pressing though from Beattie. Here's Lennon. Varga. Back with Lennon. Stephen Pearson. Overrun it. Showed too much of it to Chabi. Never neither the corner flag, the Barcelona midfielder. Philip Koku. Ronaldinho. Puyol. Lennon intercepts. Petrov gets his pass away to Thompson. Pearson's pace. In for Lennon. Larsson's layoff. And Petrov mishit the shot. It was a chance.
It's a poor finish eventually, but great play from Celtic. Stephen Pearson wide the left-hand side at this moment in time. Great ball into Larsson. There's a little lay back there. Petrov getting a yard of space, just on the edge of the box. But from there, at this level, you really have got to try and make the goalkeeper work.
An engrossing 15 minutes on the clock. Already Celtic 0, Barcelona 0. And Martin O'Neill doing his cheerleader bit down below us, trying to whip up the Celtic fans. They really need too much assistance, I wouldn't have thought. It's Martin O'Neill's 44th European tie as Celtic manager. It's Celtic's 44th game of the season.
He's also got a subtle little change on the field as well, Rob. Alan Thompson's playing in central beside Neil Lennon, and Stephen Pearson's playing wide on the left-hand side. And you can understand why the way Pearson started this game, trying to get that, use that space in front of him.
That's something, of course, he can switch as well if he wants to.
Yeah, both are very comfortable central or wide.
The Slovakian Varga, Scotland's Janky McNamara, and his international teammate Rab Douglas. 80. Thiago Mota. Puyol. Ronaldinho. Gabri gets it back. Celtic working hard at cutting down the options for the Primera Liga team, and it worked well there.
It's a good pressing game from Celtic tonight. They're not sitting back, they're not allowing Barcelona too much time on the ball. They're trying to close them down, force an error, and it's working for them. It's happened a few times that Barcelona have given the ball away.
Henrik Larsson. No free kick going against the challenge of Ole Gehr. Larsson can't believe it. There is a free kick this time, though, for the challenge on Lennon.
No question, that was a free kick, but the German referee's been very, very lenient in the early part of the game. Which is maybe a good thing. He certainly wants to let the game flow.
Well, I don't think Frank Rijkaard had too much to say at the news conference here last night. Has he had much to say tonight, Chick?
He's so laid back, he's almost horizontal. He makes Stevie Parson look excited.
Wasn't a bad player, was he, Frank Rijkaard? 2 European Cup wins as a player, 2 with Milan, 1 with Ajax. But his first season as Barca coach, and it got off to a difficult start. Signs that things are turning his way. And of course a strong Dutch streak to this Barcelona team. Even without the likes of Van Bronckhorst and Davids and Kluivert. He does have Cocu at the heart of the midfield, and he does have the vast experience of Michael Reisiger, and right back as well. Good footwork from Craig Beattie. Gets himself away from Gabri. Ole Gehr's header sets up Thompson, and Pearson, shot blocked. Pearson again tries to drag it through. He is a real thorn in the flesh for Barcelona in these early stages. No one, I don't think, more menacing for Celtic than Stephen Pearson.
No, he's got lots of the ball down that left-hand side, and he's using it to great advantage as far as Celtic's concerned. It's amazing, Rob, you think back only a few short weeks ago, he was a Motherwell player.
How the world of Stephen Pearson has changed in a couple of months. I think it's safe to say his pay packet looks a bit more impressive these days.
I think it's more important from the young lad's career's point of view. He settled so well at Celtic Park.
Petrov. Gabri gets in front of him. Cocu. The young Ole Gehr. Xavi. Now with Luis Garcia. Michael Reisiger on the overlap. Stan Varga left him in no doubt as to who was going to win that one.
Good cover there from Varga. Working across to the left-hand side to clear the danger.
I think Stephen Pearson himself and Martin O'Neill as well must be surprised at how quickly the young player has settled since moving from Motherwell to Celtic. It was the move of his dreams, and he really is making a major contribution for Celtic at the moment. And you just hope he does that for Scotland as well. Ronaldinho, sure of touch as ever, gets it back from Saviola. Good exchange between those two. Luis Garcia with the cutback, and that's well read and well cut out by Bobo Balde. There was a clear threat to Celtic, and there still is. It's Balde again on Gabri. He may not have known too much about Bobo Balde before tonight. He does now.
That was a tremendous tackle. It's one you've got to get the right, though. The time has got to be perfect, otherwise it's a yellow card. But the big man got that spot on.
Ronaldinho again trying to make things happen for Barcelona. Luis Garcia leaves it to Xavi. Now the tiny Argentinian, Saviola. Mota shot blocked, took too long, and Stilian Petrov saw it coming.
Good defending from Celtic. It's been a good game. 21 minutes gone. Both teams really having a go, trying to attack and trying to score goals. You see the quality of Barcelona having to go forward. They pass the ball so well. The movement's so good. Saviola and Ronaldinho especially.
It's a fascinating contest as well of two hugely contrasting styles of football. Celtic just know if they let Barcelona play, they can be destroyed. They haven't had that luxury so far. Ronaldinho, Gabri. A Barcelona triangle down the left-hand side. Now Koku. Good challenge by Lennon. And Alan Thompson wasn't aware that Saviola was in behind him. Robbed of possession. Here is Saviola. Shooting opportunity for Koku. Tugged it wide. And there was a clear warning to Celtic.
It's a good effort from Koku. Just before that, before this chance arises, is a mistake from Alan Thompson. He gives the ball away, unaware of the Barcelona player round about him. And that's what happens. Gives Barcelona an opportunity just on the edge of the box, and it's not far away.
Well, the last time Philip Koku was in Glasgow, he was a beaten man. He was in the Dutch national side, which lost at Hampden. What about another defeat in Glasgow? I can almost see the steam coming out of Roland de Boer's ears in the studio. Puyol turning defence into attack. It's a great run from Puyol. No way through for Saviola. It's another crucial stop by Balde.
Great time in the game from Bobo Balde. Had to get there. Saviola would have been through and wrapped Douglas. But Puyol coming from the back there, a real threat breaking forward.
You just knew Balde was going to be a key figure here for Celtic, and in the space of a few moments he's made three very important interventions. That's Puyol's header. Lovely touch from Saviola. That's a foul against Stan Varga, and it was all about the deftness of touch of Saviola, which set up Koku.
There's no question, it's a free kick. Varga doesn't get the ball at all there. It's a late challenge. That's what I'm talking about, mistimed.
Chick, we're raving about Balde, and I know that there was an element of gamble, wasn't there, in playing him here?
Yeah, I had a word with John Roberts and Stevie Walford long before kick-off, and I was trying to prize the team from them. But 2 hours before that, we're talking about it. And Balde, you know, Valverde had no chance of playing, but Balde, there's a bandage on his knee actually, and it was a worry about him whether he would make it. Something of a gamble. Well, I tell you what, I think they'll come up with 3 cherries if they push the gamble button, haven't they?
It's Puyol for Barcelona. Xavi finding some room. Balde intercepts again. Is it too early to pick man of the match?
Just a bit. Just watching the Celtic line-up, Rob, when they don't have the ball, they're actually playing more a 4-5-1. Craig Beattie's playing wide on the right-hand side.
Danger for Celtic at Saviola, what a miss! Celtic made a major contribution to a very difficult situation with some sloppy stuff, and what a chance for Barcelona to get in front.
It's great pass, look at the one-touch football there. The Barcelona players are looking for a penalty kick, just a late challenge here in Saviola, but he really should stick this away. The referee's right, no way it's a penalty kick. Alan Thompson gets close to him, but he certainly doesn't touch him. Don't think he agrees. He's maybe just upset at his striker missing such a good opportunity.
But it all stemmed from mistakes in the Celtic midfield and a casual attitude.
Well, we're talking about Celtic earlier, how hard they were working as a team, pressing the game, but Barcelona, they're not short of work rate either. They've got 11 guys out there, 10 outfield players, all working really hard, trying to get involved in the game and trying to get an advantage. That's what's making it such a good game.
Well, again, under pressure from Larsson. I don't think he feels pressure too much. Overrun it there, though. Petrov has it. I think Didier got the brother well to win that free kick.
I don't think Ronaldinho agrees with it. This is what we're saying there, Rob. Celtic are actually playing almost a 4-5-1 formation. Pearson wide on the left-hand side, Beattie wide on the right-hand side. When they lose the ball, they're coming back to help the two full-backs. In Celtic possession, they're trying to get up and give the win.
Celtic have had 3 free kicks from this sort of position. This is number 3. And it's another set piece which fails to reap any dividends for the home team.
Well, the referee's awarded a free kick against Bobo Baldo there. Didn't look as if there was too much in it.
Part 1 on the BBC, Part 2 on the BBC from the Nou Camp Stadium in 2 weeks' time. Barcelona under Frank Rijkaard's management against Celtic. It'll all be settled in 2 weeks' time, and you'll see it all on BBC One Scotland.
Free kick there. Neil Lennon tackle on Ronaldinho again.
This is what you call a glamour game. One of the best known teams in world football here at Celtic Park. But Celtic have shown in the last few years they're no great respecters of reputation. And a pretty impressive list of teams have come here hoping to win and failed. Stretching back over 73 games. Thompson again caught in possession. And there were about 60,000 people trying to warn him there.
There's not much chance his teammates getting to him and giving him a shout, but 60,000 voices, I'm sure they heard that.
Gap played that off Ronaldinho. Time flies, 28 minutes gone. Celtic nil, Barcelona nil. There's an anagram. Mota, Saviola's layoff. Chabi to Luis Garcia. Cuckoo, the captain. Playing the possession game, the Spanish side. Ronaldinho. Mota. Stopped by the combination of Balde and Lennon. Petrov was pushed over by Gabri. Celtic free kick.
Good break from Petrov. You can see the free kick there. Gabri just knocked him to the ground.
Now Celtic would have loved to have had a Hartson and a Sutton as part of their team plan here. Both injured, and Sean Maloney too, so very few striking options. That's a mistake by Balde. Played that straight to Luis Garcia, and that was a fresh air shot.
Give him his leg back, it's up the side does.
Valencia have been beaten tonight in the UEFA Cup. Beaten by that well-known Turkish team. So they have it all to do to reach the next round, the quarter-finals. Steven Pearson again trying to find a way through the Barcelona defence. Now it's Ronaldinho on the counter. Luis Garcia, Saviola in the middle. Varga cuts it out, and that's a cool header back from Jackie McNamara to Ron Douglas.
Good defending again from Celtic. The Barcelona front three looks so quick. Luis Garcia on the right-hand side, Saviola in the middle. But Varga and McNamara coping well.
Gabri's header. Lennon. Petrov. All the way across the back line. That's a poor layoff from Petrov. Celtic in trouble. It's Saviola, and Petrov, having made the mistake, atoned for his error. Now Celtic on the move with Craig Beattie. He's overrun it, and Henrik Larsson was sprinting through the middle and waiting and hoping for the cutback.
There was half a chance in the break from Celtic's point of view. Young Craig Beattie showed a little bit of nerves there, I think, to his first touch.
Craig Beattie's European experience to date amounts to a subs appearance against Kaunas. Player of some promise, though, the 20-year-olds. Tigerish as ever in midfield.
I think Rob in the first half, the biggest danger to Celtic's been giving the ball away in their own half. Petrov just a few minutes ago, losing possession. Ronaldinho so quick onto the ball, great little pass to Saviola. This could be half decent chances, missed both.
Oliger back to Valdez. Gabri. Mota. Ronaldinho beaten by Balde. Good work from Petrov. In goes Bobo Balde, driving forward. Henrik Larsson. It's Bobo Balde. Almost played in. He did get the shot. And if that had carried a little bit more power, it would have been 1-0.
Great play from Bobo Balde. He's unlucky. Henrik Larsson plays him in here. Great little ball. The big fella should actually hit it with his left foot. He doesn't want to do that. Comes across the ball with his right. He can't get enough power on it.
Petrov to Beattie. Corner kick. Good work from Craig Beattie, that'll do him some good.
That'll help his confidence.
It was funny, the pass from Larsson to Balde a few moments ago. It didn't look as if Balde had a ghost of a chance of getting to it, but those telescopic legs work wonders. Celtic generally a threat at set pieces. How often have we seen them score from just this sort of situation? Minutes away from half-time. Thompson's delivery. Petrov climbed for the header.
It's a free kick the road.
Didn't hit the target, and the whistle had gone anyway.
Petrov is leaning on the shoulder there. It's a good delivery from Alan Thompson, asking to get attacked. Goalkeeper can't come for it. Didn't see too much in that one again.
And Celtic really haven't done enough so far from set pieces.
No, they haven't. That's a big advantage to them in normal games. But Barcelona, they're no mugs. Very well organised at the back. And as we've often said, Rob, it's not the first header, it's the second one you have to defend.
And that was Balde winning both. One to Beattie. All the way back. Now Thompson. Pearson. Lennon directing operations from central midfield. Infield to Varga. Mara's pass deflected away. Ronaldinho is through. Can Barcelona take the lead? No, they can't. What an opportunity that was.
It should have been. It's as simple as that. I can't believe a guy of this experience, this quality, misses this chance, but great pressing from Barcelona to create the opportunity. Keep saying to Rob, Barcelona, they're working so hard as a team, pressing Celtic as far up the park as possible. Celtic just can't get the ball further forward.
But Celtic seem to be making a big contribution to these Barcelona opportunities, don't they?
Well, Martin O'Neill's absolutely raging that Celtic are not getting the ball forward quicker. There's been a real chorus from Martin O'Neill and John Robertson. See the two of them there. This is Martin O'Neill getting his message across. He's getting the ball forward and get it forward quicker.
Luis Garcia away by Varga. That's Reisiger. And Xavi. Oleguer's pass. He looks a player. Ronaldinho beaten by Beattie. Petrov. Celtic need a little bit more composure. Thompson's pass. It's Larsson. And an important block by the central defender, Oleguer. That was more like it.
It's a great challenge, great move from Celtic, great run from Henrik Larsson, staying onside, but Oleguer gets across really well to block the shot. Good ball from Alan Thompson.
Great challenge by Varga on Saviola, and that's a free kick. It's not Stan Varga's first offence, and that's why he's being booked.
Yeah, it's a yellow card, he can't complain. He got away with the one earlier on, right in the centre circle. Saviola, I'm not sure there's contact made here. He's looking for the free kick, knocks it beyond him. No, the referee's been conned there. I'm sure it's for the assistant throwing them.
Well, Celtic were good enough in the early stages of this first half to think that they could get in front, but latterly they'll feel fortunate they're not behind.
Well, it's funny, you know, Chick was saying there that Martin O'Neill wants the ball played forward quicker. The Celtic just can't do that. They'll give the ball away if they play it forward too quickly. And Barcelona, they're working so hard from the front area to press Celtic, not to allow them to pass forward, try to sneak the ball as far up the park as they can, and every chance they've created has been from that situation.
Good pressurising from Petrov. In goes Lennon. Mota squares it to Xavi. Wide for Luis Garcia. Good defending from Varga. Flicked on by Beattie. Larsson holds off Puyol. Here's Craig Beattie again. Good run, unlucky, overrun it. Thompson for Pearson. Over the head of Reisiger. The sort of calm defending you'd expect from an experienced Dutch international. Here come Barcelona again, they break so quickly. Saviola, stopped this time by Balde. Support from Koku. Ronaldinho, the brilliant Brazilian. On the left foot of Mota. Well, thankfully for Celtic, Barcelona shooting has been so far off target.
Yeah, this one's off target as well. When you think about it, Barcelona have had a few chances, really good chances, but Rab Douglas hasn't really made a save yet.
Well, they have got themselves into very dangerous positions.
They're a good team, Rob. You can see the quality right throughout the team. They're so comfortable on the ball, right from the back end through the middle of the park, and when they get a chance up front, they're very, very sharp.
Koku on the header. Saviola tries to get it down for Xavi. That's Good skill to work it on under pressure to Luis Garcia. Garcia's pass to Ronaldinho. He's away from Agat, running along the byline. Another chance is missed by Barcelona. How did this not go in?
Tremendous skill from Ronaldinho. He says, did he get a dummy here? Great little touch, and he tries to cut it back to Luis Garcia. And I don't know really how he missed that. It's actually great defending. Jackie McNamara, I think it was, coming into the back post.
I think McNamara hurt in the process. Lovely bit of footwork from Ronaldinho. Played it across the goalmouth. You thought it was 1-0, but a courageous challenge from McNamara, which keeps the scoreline blank.
That's tremendous defending from the Celtic captain. Took a little bit of a knock, but thankfully he's okay now. Had to get there first, take the pain.
Just as Ronaldinho thought he carved out the opening goal.
He's a decent player, isn't he?
He's okay. 41 minutes gone at Celtic Park. 0-0. No shortage of excitement or entertainment. So much at stake. Petrov to Beattie. Lennon. Celtic unable to get Henrik Larsson into the game as much as they'd like.
I don't think Henry's getting a lot of support either tonight. The system at Celtic are playing 5 across the middle, really.
Larsson's flick on from Petrov. Alan Thompson's shot produces an instinctive save by Valdez.
Tremendous save from the Barcelona goalkeeper. A great run from Alan Thompson. Unfortunately, from Celtic's point of view, and it was on his weaker foot, his right foot. This is a great touch. It's stuck under his feet just a little bit. Can't get enough for it. But it's actually beyond the goalkeeper. Puts his hand back the way to make a good save.
The short corners from Celtic, and the cross blocked by Luis Garcia. Can Celtic get ahead before half-time? Here's Craig Beattie. Trying to play it back to Thompson. Interception. Balde ending up on the track. He's had some first half.
He certainly played well.
Chick, is Martin O'Neill happy with the Celtic system?
Well, he's not. I thought he was going to change it. I had a word with Alan Thompson, who in turn had passed on the message to Stephen Pearson. I was wondering what kind of change he was going to make, but I think he's just told Pearson to get forward more often and try and support Larsson. Just what Sandy was talking about, trying to help Larsson get in the game a little bit more, and I think that's the instruction that's been passed to Pearson. I'm also wondering, Rob, they've been talking to Momo Silla. I wonder if it was, I don't think it's going to happen before half-time, but I think we may see Silla introduced into this game before it's much older.
Free kick given against the challenge on Didier Agat. The referee let the game go on for a few seconds before realising there was no great advantage. So maybe one final set piece then, as the first half comes to a close. Thompson's delivery. Balde's header, headed away by Puyol. Thompson, forward looking for Larsson, only get in the way. And Neil Lennon looking for his first goal of the season. It would be momentous if it came tonight.
Well, he's still looking. There's half a chance, and this ball breaks to him. Good defending game from Barcelona. And really, Neil Lennon's probably the player you don't want to be in that situation. Not the best of the cleanest hitter of the ball. It's been a very good first half. Great entertainment. Both teams playing fairly well. You can see the quality that Barcelona have. On the ball, they're so good, so quick, so aware.
Back from Puyol. Valdez, who produced that marvellous stop a couple of minutes ago to deny Alan Thompson. Free kick given against Mota.
Don't think Bobo Balde's too happy with him. He's having a word in his ear now. I'll just say here,
he entered the Bobo Balde exclusion zone with his left fist there.
Has he got the right colours on for Superman, leading with his fist?
It's just about half-time as Stan Varga joins the Celtic attack. It is half-time. Right on 45 minutes. Bobo Baldé, a heroic figure at the heart of the Celtic defence. He's had to be. They've been under a fair bit of pressure, not too surprisingly, against Ronaldinho and company. And the little Brazilian might well have had Barcelona ahead here. Celtic have had their moments. Here was Baldé joining the attack, set up by Larsson, and his effort saved by Valdez. This was Ronaldinho finding a giant hole in the Celtic defence and failing to hit the target. This was incredible. Ronaldinho, the creator, and Jackie McNamara, the saviour for Celtic, stopping Luis Garcia scoring. And then in the final flurry of the first half, a right foot effort from Alan Thompson and an instinctive save by goalkeeper Valdez. The news from the tunnel as the players have gone off at half-time is that there's been a bust-up. There have been, I think, punches flying in the tunnel as the teams have gone off. Some of the Barcelona players, as you can see, haven't made the dressing room yet. Here's Chick.
There was a real barney in the tunnel as the players went up. Moto was in the middle of it all. I don't know quite what it was. Celtic players. Frank Rijkaard get involved, trying to pull them off. The police were in the middle of it all. You can see the Barcelona player Mota just get pulled to the side there. Frank Rijkaard holding him at the mouth of the tunnel. A real barney between several of the players. The fourth official involved in it as well. He sprinted in the middle of it all. It's all calmed down now. It was Mota that was involved with Baldé at the start of that. I didn't see Baldé get involved in the tunnel, but certainly Mota and Baldé were involved in an early instant, and a real unsavoury instant in the tunnel at Celtic Park as Moto disappears up to the dressing room with Frank Rijkaard.
It all seems a bit incidental after that, but it's, by the way, Celtic 0, Barcelona 0.
As I understand it, is that Rob Douglas has been red carded at half-time, and so too has Thiago Motta. We're just confirming that, but there's absolute confusion in the dressing room area. But it seems in the wake of that foray at the half-time in the tunnel, which we described to you, the two players, Rob Douglas of Celtic and the Barcelona player Thiago Motta, have been sent off at half-time.
Well, that's pretty sensational news, thank you.
And I think it probably won't be Craig Beattie that'll come off, but Mota as well for Barcelona. He looked a decent player first half, so they'll certainly miss him as well. So it'll be an interesting second half, 10v10.
And the news will just be filtering around the ground that 2 red cards have been shown as the teams went up the tunnel, and it is going to be Craig Beattie who's going to give way to get teenager David Marshall on in goal for Celtic. And of course Barcelona down to 10 men as well. So it was an already tough task for Celtic. It's just got decidedly tougher.
It'll be interesting just to see which system McNamara wants to play second half. I would imagine he'll start in a 4-4-1 formation. Henrik Larsson again on his own. Malazny studio was saying as well at half-time that Henrik, if he's going to get anything tonight, he needs more support.
Just turned 19. Young Marshall in goal for Celtic in the second half. And this will be a test of his temperament apart from anything else. He's a player of some ability, and he's a big hope for the future as far as Celtic are concerned, but he's got to deliver now in the second half against Ronaldinho, Saviola and company.
I think, Rob, if this game had been the new camp, it would have been a much bigger problem for the young keeper. But the Celtic fans, you can hear them already getting behind the youngster.
I just wonder if the referees maybe added on stoppage time to the half-time interval because of that dust-up as they were heading up the tunnel. Chick has the latest from ringside.
Yeah, Rob, I mean, the scenes in that dressing room area at half-time were absolutely chaotic. Frank Rijkaard was called in to the dressing room, the referee's dressing room, The dressing room outside the Barcelona, the area outside the dressing room had players all over the place questioning what was happening. They looked absolutely bemused. David Marshall was told he was coming on, Beattie's coming off. Absolute chaos in Barcelona inside that area. Still not ready to come out onto the park, and now we're way behind schedule, of course. I believe that Barcelona are now coming down the tunnel.
I hope Celtic like a challenge. They've got one here tonight. And there's the man who's the centre of attention. And word does get round quickly about what happened down that tunnel. And Wolfgang Stark is getting a hot reception as he comes back onto the pitch, having red-carded both Rab Douglas and Thiago Motta. So 2 players sent off, 1 taken off in Craig Beattie and 19-year-old David Marshall in goal. Never a dull moment at Celtic Park. And Martin O'Neill has had to reshuffle the pack. And even Martin looks shaken at what's happened during that very long half-time interval. Second half underway, Celtic against Barcelona. Don't look away, you might miss something. That's offside against Larsson.
Looking at the Celtic line-up start the second half, Rob Alan Thompson's went to the wider area again. Stephen Pearson in beside Neil Lennon.
Barcelona have lost a midfielder. Celtic have lost their goalkeeper. Luis Garcia. Xavi. Saviola. Good work from Stan Varga. Now with Didier Gat. What effect will those half-time fisticuffs have? We're about to find out. Undecided there was Michael Reisiger under the high ball. Thompson's throw. Larsson's flick. No takers.
That's a decent ball from Henrik Larsson. That's where you missed the striking partner up beside the Swede today.
Celtic would normally look towards their support as the 12th man. I think in the second half they're the 11th man. A Gat's throw. Goes to get it beyond Koku. Long ball for Saviola. He's away from McNamara. It's Saviola! He's missed again. What a chance inside 100 seconds of the restart.
How many chances are Barcelona going to miss? That's a poor one from Celtic's point of view. Poor defending. It's just a long, high clearance up the field of play. Argentinian strikers onto it so sharp, so quick. Jackie McNamara tried to put him off. Just inches past the post. It's another rattle for Celtic.
And David Marshall's first touch of the ball was almost picking the ball out of the back of the net. Still a clean sheet, 2.5 minutes in. Oleguer to Ronaldinho. Touched back by Saviola. He was short with the pass though for Xavi. And that's what Celtic can't afford to do. Loose pass, possession relinquished too easily. Good work from Larsson as Oleguer hesitated. Tried to play in Pearson, not quite. Thompson was caught by Saviola. The referee reaches into his pocket. It's another red card. Javier Saviola sent off. It's now 10 men against 9.
I don't think the little striker can complain. It's a really late kick on Alan Thompson, right in front of the assistant referee, right away indicated to the referee is a red card defence. But the worry now, Rob, this game could end up in a farce. And it hasn't really been a nasty game whatsoever. It's that little incident involving Bobo Baldi and Mota just before half-time. But you'll see here, Thompson clears the ball, and it just is a swipe battle. No intention of getting the ball whatsoever, so he can't complain, the Argentinian.
It's a moment of madness from the Argentinian international striker. The ball had gone, there was no great threat, and he's put Celtic back in the box seat now by getting himself sent off.
What an opportunity now for Celtic. An extra man. Is it 10v9, is that right?
Didier Gat. Stilian Petrov onside. Stephen Pearson's in the middle. Does so well to get there, Pearson. I think it's fair to say there are plenty spaces on the pitch now. With 3 players sent off.
Half-time, I'm sure that O'Neill would have settled for a 0-0 draw, but the way that the game's panning out, he's got to look for a victory now. So important to make sure they don't lose any goals. If they can just get that little edge, get a goal in front, a big advantage for a fortnight's time.
Agat, Valde. Amazing to think that in a matter of a few minutes, Saviola could have had Celtic run down, and he got himself sent off. Varga picks out Agat. Looking to take on Gabri. Powering his way to the corner flag and settling for the corner kick.
That's exactly what Celtic need to do now. Got to use the flanks, got to use the width of the pitch. Whether it's Agat, Petrov down the right-hand side, McNamara, Alan Thompson down the left, they've got to use the space that's there.
Valde and Larsson and Petrov and Pearson waiting. It's Stephen Pearson who left it. Pearson again, full of energy. Flipped wide by Lennon. Thompson's delivery. Varga's there. On target.
This is a half chance. Good ball from Alan Thompson. Varga making a late run into the box, but again, Barcelona so strong at the back. That's good defending to get to the ball first.
We're only 7 minutes into the second half, and we've only 19 players on the pitch. And the most amazing thing of all is it's still 0-0. Ronaldinho. Luis Garcia, good challenge, Varga. Thompson. Larsson against Puyol. Did well to find Reisiger.
Great defender. I've been really impressed with Puyol tonight, big centre back. Did exceptionally well.
Xavi. Equally impressive, Oleguer in the first half. Back for Barcelona. Top team, as you can see from their recent results, 7 straight wins in La Liga, including away victories against Valencia and Deportivo. Agat, Larsson couldn't make it stick. Valdez clears unconvincingly. In goes Jackie McNamara. Well, Frank Rijkaard's plans in terms of tactics have gone out the window. Mota and Saviola both sent off at Celtic Park.
And both, of course, have missed the third leg in a fortnight. That could be a big bonus to Celtic as well.
Celtic looking to work the goalkeeper, Victor Valdez. But right off Barcelona at your peril. Even down to 9 men. Got to Petrov. Oliver's challenge, Celtic's throw. Larsson looking to get in behind Puyol. Couldn't quite make it. It's a tough job for Henrik Larsson against two top-quality central defenders.
But it shouldn't be in the zone now, Rob. Celtic have to really press the game as far up the park as possible. Don't allow Barcelona to have a spare man at the back. Try and make sure that they're forced to give the ball away. And if it's wave after wave of attack from Celtic, they've got to hope to get at least one goal.
Luis Garcia's challenge on Balde. Lennon in field to Varga, now Thompson. McNamara for Pearson. There's another ill-judged challenge, this time from Reisiger. It's yellow this time.
Again, he can't have any complaints whatsoever. Great skill from Stephen Pearson. Salah, great first touch, good second touch round the full back, and the Dutchman taking him right out of the game.
There's a coming-of-age feeling about Stephen Pearson. He's been absolutely terrific here tonight. Ten minutes into the second half. Petrov's free kick. Puyol's header. Lennon was waiting. Now the counter-attack with Luis Garcia. 1 against 3. As Ronaldinho looks to get forward in support. Here he is now. Xabi. And Neil Lennon was there to intercept. Does that so well, the Celtic midfielder. Right place, right time. I can't show too much of that to Gabri. The back heel to Koku. Philip Koku again. And a late challenge on Koku by Balde. And we wait to see the colour of the card. It's yellow, and Bobo Balde will miss the second leg at the Nou Camp. He joins an ever-lengthening list of players who are not going to play in that game. One yellow takes him over the suspension limit.
It's a silly challenge, Rob. There's no need for that. Barcelona, they're on the halfway line. There's a long way to go before they threaten the Celtic goalkeeper. Can't have any complaints at all about the yellow card. It's such a rash, silly challenge.
And it means that even in terms of this game now, he's walking a tightrope, Balde, in terms of turning that yellow into a red. Xabi's pass, in goes Luis Garcia, great covering from Jackie McNamara, tucked in to make a vital clearance. Twice tonight McNamara has shown great anticipation and terrific defensive skills, and Stilian Petrov has a free kick. Pearson against Reisiger. Michael Reisiger knows he's in a match tonight. He comes out on top this time. Luis Garcia's layoff. Koku to Ronaldinho. He'll do it all on his own if he has to. He's got a free kick. He was held back by Varga. Who's going to be man of the match, I wonder? You're running out of options.
I'm sure we'll get somebody eventually. Interesting, Rob, just to see the longer the game goes, there's going to be a lot of tired legs out there. Lots of empty spaces to cover. The players have worked really hard, both sets of players, right from the start of the game to press each other. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see goals before the end of this 90 minutes.
Koku thrusting forward from the midfield. Stephen Pearson got just enough on the back pass to David Marshall.
Good awareness from the young goalkeeper. playing as a sweeper there.
Ronaldinho. Now with Baldi. He's going through the gears. Didier Gat. Petrov's cross. Larsson's header! Here's the chance! And there's the goal! Alan Thompson fires Celtic in front. 14 minutes into the second half. Celtic are beating Barcelona by a goal to nil.
It's a tremendous goal from Celtic's point of view, but what with this header from Henrik Larsson? He realises the best opportunities not to try and score, to set up Alan Thompson. That's a tremendously magnificent header. Thompson's still got a bit of work to do. He's got to make sure he gets over the top of the ball. He shows great technique, and eventually it's a magnificent finish with his left foot, giving Valdez in goal no chance.
And I don't think you could pay Alan Thompson any greater tribute, and that was reminiscent of Zidane's finish for Real Madrid last night against Bayern Munich. He had to drill it down, he did. Celtic are ahead.
You mentioned Rob making sure he try and attack down the wide areas. Didier Gat and Stilian Petrov getting that yard of space in the wide area to deliver a decent ball, no pressure on the cross. And Larsson Thompson certainly made the best of it.
Free kick for Petrov, and if you've enjoyed this first leg, and I think you probably have, then you'll be able to enjoy part two of the Celtic-Barcelona story as well from the Nou Camp Stadium, the biggest stadium in Europe, capacity just short of 100,000. 2 weeks' time, the second leg. Celtic have 10 men, Barcelona 9 men. Celtic have a 1-0 lead.
I think Celtic have to keep the pressure on Barcelona now. Go for this second goal, because it's going to be a daunting task in 2 weeks' time. And the more of an advantage they can get here, they've got to try and make sure they take it.
Well, Alan Thompson has got such a terrific recent record of scoring big goals. Did it in the UEFA Cup campaign last season, and that's his 12th goal of the season. Top quality is Reisiger's foul on Pearson.
He's a lucky man.
He's been yellow carded already.
I tell you, Rob, I'm convinced if Reisiger hasn't got a yellow card before now, he certainly receives one for this challenge. That's late, it's high, it's dangerous, no intention of playing the ball, and that is certainly a yellow card. He should go off the field.
Yep, that was a yellow card offence if you've ever seen one, but Wolfgang Stark obviously well aware that the number 2 for Barcelona was already in his book. But all the credit goes to Stephen Pearson, because he has been so direct tonight, running with the ball. It's always been under tight control, and he's forced the Barcelona players into making challenges on him, sometimes ill-advised challenges.
I'm sure Martin O'Neill's going to say to the young wide player, Pearson, keep it going, have a go at the Dutch full-back again, because one more tackle like that, he's got to go off the field.
Barcelona now thinking about changes, Chick.
Yeah, Gerard Lopez is going to come on, and Reisiger immediately after that challenge, as you might imagine, Rijkaard said that's enough. He's going to get the hook, he's going to take him off before he's sent off, and he'll be replaced by Gerard Lopez.
Barcelona are going to be playing 7-a-side here tonight if they're not careful. If you've just joined us and you're thinking there aren't too many players on the pitch, that's because 2 went off during the half-time interval. Rob Douglas of Celtic and Mota of Barcelona. Saviola sent off in the second half. And you need a few sets of eyes to know exactly what's happening, not just on the pitch, but around it, Chick.
Yeah, there's more drama in the tunnel. What happened was that Thiago Mota, the man who was sent off at half-time, along with Rob Douglas, came down the tunnel to try and watch the second half. The Celtic fans spotted him. That caused a bit of an uproar, as you might imagine. And the police, there he is, been talking to the Celtic security officer. He's been off away. The boos you hear in the background now, but another substitution, Reisiger coming off. He's going to be replaced by Lopez, Gerard Lopez, for that change. Rob, I'm taking a wee rest. It's back to you, son.
And I think Thiago Motta is getting to know Strathclyde Police tonight. A security cordon around them. But that was certainly not a great idea, coming back out to the playing area, and that caused a right old rumpus. So Gerard is on the pitch for Barcelona. And Frank Rijkaard doing the wise thing and taking off his fellow countryman Reisiger, because he was about to join Motta and Saviola in seeing red. And well, probably should have been sent off anyway, Reisiger, but he was lucky to stay on the pitch, and Frank Rijkaard took immediate action.
It's a wise move from the Barcelona coach.
Gabri to Ronaldinho. Lovely touch. Puyol through. Luis Garcia can't get the better of Jackie McNamara. He's turning in a top-class show yet again tonight, McNamara. Thompson speeding the pass down the line, but it's gone out this time. Well, he's not going to get lonely in the tunnel, is he? Because he's got plenty of company around about him, and well, you would think that he should be kept well away from the pitch, really. We saw, of course, that he punched Bobo Balde as the pair of them jumped for a high ball in the first half. That's obviously what sparked the problems in the tunnel as they went off. Rob Douglas got involved. 2 players sent off, and then followed pretty quickly in the second half by Javier Saviola. 1-0 Celtic, 10 men against 9. Foul by Lennon on Xavi. Well, he might complain, but he's got no great cause.
No, I can't complain about that one. But the tempo of the game's dropped just a little bit, as you would expect. The work rate from both sets of players so far has been incredible. But I think from Celtic's point of view, they've got to try and keep the pace up, got to try and take advantage again of this extra man they have.
Minutes into the second half. Set-piece opportunity for Barcelona. All the hoop shirts left on the picture behind us. Ronaldinho. The flick was from Xavi, but it was well seen, well cut out by Stan Varga.
Good awareness here from the Celtic defenders. Obviously a free kick from the training ground.
Oleguer played that off Thompson and out. Oleguer keeping his place in central defence for Barcelona, despite the fact that Rafa Marquez, the Mexican national team captain, is fit again. Here he is, looks very cool and composed and classy, the defender. Not there though. Thompson's won it. Celtic looking for a second goal. Puyol clears. Only as far as Varga. Balde to Agat. Onside. Stilian Petrov. Celtic have the throw.
Oleguer has actually moved to the right back position, Rob, from the centre back. Cuckoo, he's dropped him beside Puyol.
Stephen Pearson. Stilian Petrov against the Barcelona captain Cocu. Celtic have got themselves into such a strong position that they must be very wary of making the sort of mistake that might let Barcelona back into this. But at the same time, thinking they could really take advantage of their one-man advantage. That's an offside given against Pearson. But he's done little wrong tonight.
He's had a marvellous game, the youngster. He looks so fit, so sharp, so bright. We said before, Robbie sailed into the Celtic team so well.
As I was saying earlier, there's a long list of teams who've tried and failed to win here, the likes of Juventus and Rosenborg, Porto, Valencia, Basel, Blackburn, Liverpool, Celta Vigo, Stuttgart, Boavista, Bayern, Anderlecht, Lyon, and Celtic hoping they can add to that list the famous name of Barcelona. A long way to go though. Xavi's pass, cut out. And just signs that the cracks might be showing in this Barcelona team. Petrov's crossfield pass, chased by Thompson. Oleguer is at his back. Some room for Pearson to again drive at the Barcelona defence. Switching the line of attack, Celtic. Agat's shot blocked. Now is another chance to show what he can do. All he did was show too much of it to Gabri. Ronaldinho. That pass finds its way through to Luis Garcia. A solitary figure in the Barcelona attack there until the support finally came through from Xavi. That's well won by Henrik Larsson. A bad challenge from Oleguer. There was no real need for it. It's because Puyol was there as well. They were going to win the ball back.
It's a bit of revenge, Rob. Henrik Larsson stole the ball from Oleguer just a few seconds ago. And you can see him just barging into the Celtic striker there. That's all that was, frustration, revenge. Upset because the decision there didn't go his way.
70 amazing minutes gone at Celtic Park. The home team won up against the might of Barcelona. Well, there's an unforced error. Celtic can do without those. Jackie McNamara's pass didn't find Alan Thompson.
It's not like him, Jackie McNamara. Normally passes the ball so well.
Gerrard, the substitute for Barcelona, capped at every level by his country. And Barcelona are going to make another change. Xavi's pass is a poor one. It gives McNamara the edge against Luis Garcia, and it's out off the Spaniard for Celtic's throw. And that means that Barcelona can make their change. It's going to be, I think, Luis Garcia coming off, and he will be replaced by Ricardo Quaresma, the 20-year-old, and he's another Sporting Lisbon wonder kid, along the lines of Cristiano Ronaldo, who ended up at Manchester United, and great things are expected of this young man as well. Celtic in the driving seat, and that's where they want to stay.
Just look at the Barcelona lineup at the moment, Rob. We've got a goalkeeper, 4 across the middle, and 4 at the back. And that's their lot. I think Frank Michael would settle for a win now, defeat at this moment in time, the way the game's going.
Chick, what sort of instructions are the Celtic players getting from Martin O'Neill at the moment?
Well, they're telling... Well, how about putting this in it would be good.
Henrik Larsson. The threat finally snuffed out by Barcelona. It was a wonderful probing pass from Thompson. You were saying, Chick?
To have a chance, great ball from Alan Thompson. Larsson, he's onside again, good move. But look at the Barcelona defenders back in, still working ever so hard to make sure they don't lose another goal. Simply crowded out.
Ronaldinho on the wrong side of Varga, turns back looking for reinforcements. Not many about. But Gabri had made a great run down the left for Barcelona. Danger over for Celtic. Young Quaresma, the second sub for Barcelona. Agat's pass. He's been everywhere tonight, Stephen Pearson. Petrov to Lennon. Celtic trying to strike a balance between looking for a second goal but not getting caught themselves at the other end. Jackie McNamara squared it for Pearson. Xavi saw it coming. Here's the Barcelona midfielder again, through for Ronaldinho. What a great cutout that was from Bobo Balde. The odds were stacked against him.
So important to get that one right. Ronaldinho was on his own, he was through. A long way from goal, but the quality he has, that was a danger.
Varga, Pearson, Larsson! So close to number 2.
Great play again from Celtic. Stephen Pearson involved again. This is a marvellous header. Finding Henrik Larsson. Larsson doing well to get first to the ball. Does the right thing, puts it across the goalkeeper. But just agonisingly inches past the post.
"15 minutes left. Celtic with a 1-goal advantage and a one-man advantage. Ronaldinho threads his pass through to Gerrard. Gabri. Varga. Back to Marshall. He's not one to panic, is he? 19-year-old David Marshall, I think, was just pausing to light a cigar there.
I'm not too sure, Martin. He'll make a panic just a little bit. The young player was well in control though.
Agat's header finds Pearson. Again, it's Route 1 stuff from Pearson. Running straight at Oleguer. Barcelona having to work so hard because it's 9 players against 10. Stilian Petrov tries to set up Didier Agat, gets to the byline, pulls it back for Larsson. McNamara's cross. In went Petrov. That was Quaresma. Varga plays the 1-2 with Petrov. Ronaldinho. He's got a fair few tricks in his repertoire. Xavi loses out to Pearson. The players are tiring, they have to be.
They've got to be tired, Rob. They've worked so hard. I'm sure it's a hard one for the Celtic players. As you said earlier, it's more important that they don't lose a goal. That second goal would be such a bonus.
Offside against Larsson, but certainly no offside against Alan Thompson when he fired Celtic in front in this pulsating UEFA Cup tie. Henrik Larsson, the set-up man with the knockdown, drilled home by that trusty left peg. Thompson for Celtic, 1-0 against Barcelona. There's Thompson again, caught by the outstretched leg of Oleguer. Getting fairly gingerly back to his feet, Thompson, as well.
It was a good challenge, though. Certainly got the ball, Oleguer.
Gabri taking on Agat. Balde's challenge now with Ronaldinho. Celtic have it back. Check on Martin O'Neill.
Yeah, Celtic are going to change it, Rob. Momo Silva's going to be coming on. We've been talking about the change for a moment or two. I think they were actually going to make the change just before the goal. They had a little debate with John Robertson. Momo Silva will be introduced just to vary things a little bit and hopefully get the second goal for Celtic.
This started off at 8 o'clock as an intriguing tactical battle, but I think the scripts were pretty quickly ripped up.
Well, it's been marvellous. It's been a great game. I just wonder who Martin will take off. I just wonder if he'll maybe take off Bobo Baldi, obviously on that yellow card. The Celtics certainly look comfortable at the back at the moment. Neil Lennon maybe just going to slot in there and use the ball from the back, almost a little further forward.
It was one of Alan Thompson's poorer passes. Ronaldinho, Xavi, wide for Quaresma. Do you think they're happy with 1-0?
Oh, certainly. I think Rijkaard will be delighted with a 1-0 defeat now.
Newcastle tonight 4-1 winners against Real Mallorca, another Spanish side. That should be enough, you would have thought, to get Sir Bobby Robson's team through. 1-0 Celtic against Barcelona. Quaresma against Varga. Well, a very theatrical fall, but the referee wasn't conned by it.
8.9 for that one, I'm afraid.
That's good ball winning from Xavi. There was a tug at the shirt of Oleguer by Pearson. Barcelona have a free kick.
Frank Rijkaard not too happy there, is he? He's looking for a free kick earlier on.
Frank Rijkaard having his say. And referee Wolfgang Stark chipping in as well. And there was the little fit of pique from Rijkaard as he banged the ball down angrily. Been a frustrating night for him. Spanish side Villarreal 2-up against Roma in another of the fourth-round ties. Mixed fortunes at the moment for the Spanish teams. Lovely skill from Ronaldinho. Good recovery from Stan Varga.
Great skill from Ronaldinho. Such a talented player, but good defending.
Too much on the through ball from Thompson.
His tired legs now as much as anything else. Alan Thompson looks really tired down this left-hand side from Celtic.
Ronaldinho is still on the deck inside the Celtic penalty box. Slowly jogging his way back towards an onside position. Nearly 82 minutes on the clock. Celtic 1, Barcelona 0. Celtic within sight of a famous victory under bizarre circumstances, with 3 red cards having been issued, and there might have been 4. And when you're 1-0 down away from home and you're down to 9 men, you would certainly settle for this to take back to the new camp in 2 weeks' time, and you can see that sentiment in the way Barcelona are playing. Celtic making a change. Thompson, the goal scorer, off. Momo Silva on.
He looks really tired, Alan Thompson. Sensible move from Martin O'Neill. Stephen Pearson, I'm sure, will go to the left-hand side now. Momo Silva in that central midfield area. I'm sure his role now will be to get up beside Henrik Larsson, give him as much support as possible in the hope of getting the vital second goal.
Quaresma, Oleguer on the overlap, and what a game he's had, Stephen Pearson. He's been effective in midfield, in attack, and there in defence. pass out of play, and the news about Alan Thompson is he's carrying an injury. Check, what's the detail?
Yeah, I'm sorry about Sandy wrong about this tactical substitution, but I think it's just a wee hamstring pull. They've applied some ice to it at the moment. You can't see it in that picture, but he's sitting in an ice pack. Just applied to that, just precautionary. I don't think it's anything too serious. Won't come out of a game, but just a little, just take him off to keep him safe for the next match.
Offside, Henrik Larsson from Momo Sila's pass.
Good pass from Momo Silla. Just goes a second too early, trying to gain that slight advantage you need.
6 minutes left. A remarkable UEFA Cup tie at Celtic Park. Valdez clearance, met by the head of McNamara. Larsson holding off Puyol. Lovely pass to Petrov. In goes Silla. Free kick out against him. Well, what was wrong with that? I didn't see too much myself. And an angry reaction from Gabri.
That's crazy. I don't think it was a free kick. It's a 50-50 ball. Both players going for the ball, but the ball's on the ground. There's no high feet raised. There's no danger to anyone there. I think he's lucky to get the free kick, and very, very lucky he didn't receive a yellow card.
We could do with a card or two. Xavi under pressure from Lennon. Back it goes to Puyol. Cocu to Gerrard. That man Gabri. The Barcelona captain, who started off in central midfield, finishing off in central defence. As Frank Rijkaard has had to reshuffle more than once. McNamara's pass into the feet of Larsson. Leoff fills to find Petrov. Lovely from Ronaldinho. In goes Neil Lennon. The back heel to Xavi. Valdez header. Then Varga. Great defending.
Had to
now, Balde. A gap on the move. Gerrard's challenge. Who's the man of the match?
Well, there can only be one man tonight for me, Rob. Young Stephen Pearson's been immense. His fitness level's been incredible. He's looked so sharp, so good defending and attacking. He's my BBC Scotland man of the match.
What a dramatic development in a young footballer. Stephen Pearson. So much credit goes to Terry Butcher and his staff at Motherwell. And he's moving on again now at Celtic, up to a different level. Celtic have a free kick.
That's good play from Momo Silla. Wasn't prepared to lie there and get the free kick, tried to get an advantage. Well, 1-2 with Didier Gap. You can see Silla taking out the game there. But very determined.
Barcelona are going to bring on Mark Overmars, but not quite yet. Three minutes left. Can Celtic get a second goal? Petrov's delivery. They'll have to do it again.
And that's
sometimes, as soon as you get afters, that was starters.
Supporting here, Rob, the Celtic don't give away a free kick. Make sure you don't create any kind of infringement. Try and win the ball, be fair with it.
Still in, Petrov plays it in towards Larsson at the near post. Puyol made the challenge.
Puyol does well here. Good ball from Petrov. Henrik Larsson trying to get across the face of him, but Puyol there all the way, making sure the Swede doesn't get a header on target.
Ronaldinho is coming off after a pretty impressive demonstration of his skills, but no end product for him tonight. He had chances, didn't take them.
He's a tremendously talented player, though. He'll be a real problem to Celtic in a fortnight's time.
And
he's not bad either,
not a bad substitute. Mark Overmars. Too much on that for Silla. And you wouldn't take anything for granted about this match, but it looks as if it's going to finish 1-0.
It does now. As I said before, lots of tired players out there. Every single one giving it the best shot. But being impressed with Barcelona tonight, Rob. It really hasn't been a nasty game. They're a little bit unfortunate to be down to 9 men, but they're a tremendous football team. Great at passing the ball, great attitude to the game as well.
And if it stays this way, it's perfectly balanced for the second leg. But Celtic have a corner. And that gets the locals excited.
The big guy's up again.
Petrol's corner. Neil Lennon. Momo Silla tries to set something up from the byline. Varga leaves it. Balde. The danger still not gone for Barcelona. McNamara. And offside against Balde. That takes the heat off. Well done, Sean Connor from Inverness. He's the winner of the DVD player. He agreed with Sandy, I bet a lot of you did, that Stephen Pearson was the man of this match. 2 minutes being added, and we're halfway through the first one. So after 90 minutes, 90 seconds to go. So it looks like Barcelona beaten at Celtic Park, but they will still feel they can get through to the quarter-finals of this competition.
They will, Rob. You see the way they're going about the last period of this game. We're happy to settle for a 1-0 defeat. They could well rue the missed chances, though. They've had a few.
It's one of those results, isn't it, that almost leaves both teams happy.
That's right, and Celtic have got lots of experience of this type of game away from home. Great results, obviously, last year in the UEFA Cup.
.30 seconds left. We're in the second minute of stoppage time. Kuku's pass. Balde just got there. Here comes Gabri. That's out. No, it's not. He did well to keep that in.
Excitement right to the end.
One or two late jitters in the Celtic defence. Celtic have beaten Barcelona. A momentous result from Martin O'Neill against Frank Rijkaard's team. And Celtic stretch their unbeaten record at home to 74 magnificent matches. A remarkable 90 minutes this, which ended with only 19 players on the pitch, and one of them 19-year-old Celtic goalkeeper David Marshall, after Rob Douglas had been sent off after a dust-up in the tunnel at half-time with the Brazilian midfielder Mota. Both players red-carded, and 4 minutes into the second half, Javier Saviola, the little Argentinian striker, he was off as well. So then it was 10 for Celtic against the 9 of Barcelona. And it was Alan Thompson who struck, as he's done so often before, in the most important of matches. The knockdown from Henrik Larsson, the rifled left foot finish from Thompson, and Celtic had beaten one of the most famous names in world football by a 1-0. A magnificent achievement for Martin O'Neill and his team, and what a night Stephen Pearson had.
Stephen, that was a quiet night at the office one way or another. Let's talk football first. 1-0 enough?
I would never say that. Obviously it's a great result for us to get the victory here, but we know the job's only half done. We've still got a new camp to go.
What did you think of that as a taste of European competition?
Yeah, it was excellent. As I say, I'm a rookie at this level, so it was just a great experience for me to play in the game.
You must have been amazed as the rest of us by events at half time and the news that Rob Douglas had been sent off.
Yeah, well, I don't actually know what happened, Chick, to be honest. The captain got called out and apparently had been sent off, so I don't know what happened in the tunnel.
Were you aware of much aggro in the game in the first half?
No, I think there were been ugly challenges here and there, but I don't think there was anything too bad. It kind of kicked off in the tunnel, but as I say, I don't know what happened. But
on your own performance, Stephen, you must have been very, very happy with that. You're a delight to watch tonight.
Yeah, it was, as I say, it was just good to get the result. It was a team performance, it wasn't down to one individual. Everybody was excellent tonight. And
a good performance by David Marshall, who came in. You must have wondered what happened to him.
Yeah, he came in, he's done very well. He's played a few games before, but as I say, it was a great experience for me, and it's probably for him as well. And
there's a small repeat show in 2 weeks' time in the new camp?
Yeah, we hope so. We know it's going to be difficult over there. They showed they've got class throughout the side. We know it's going to be tough, but we're looking forward to it.
Sharp boy tonight, great performance. Stephen.
Thanks,
well done.
Cheers.
Thanks, well done.
Thank you. Cheers.
Another stunning European performance by Celtic here at Celtic Park. 1-0 was good enough against Blackburn Rovers and Celta Vigo, but this is a new camp. Will 1-0 be enough, Gordon?